The 500 Days of Prayer podcast.
Hi, this is Peter Wooding and welcome to this month's podcast for 500 Days of Prayer. As ever, I'm with my co-host, Jonathan Oliadi, convener of Global Day of Prayer. Tell us what day it is and why it's so special for where we are today, Jonathan.
Yes, I'm here in the sunny atmosphere and shadow of St. Paul's on Good Friday with lots of people from all over the world coming through the cathedral, praying and observing Easter. It's been lovely to see lots of people out on the streets and being involved in Easter as we begin to count down towards Pentecost.
And we'll be telling you more details a bit later about the lead up to Pentecost, also a special Twitter campaign that we launched Easter weekend. But first, we spoke to some of the people on the streets here outside St. Paul's to ask them what they thought about prayer.
Do you know anything about the Lord's Prayer?
The what?
The Lord's Prayer.
I don't know what you mean right now.
I think I pray when I'm, terrified and something's very special, I think. I have to admit I don't pray very often.
Do you ever pray to anyone up there or out there?
Not really.
What do you think about prayer in general?
Oh, it's a blessing. It's a gift, and it's one of our freedoms that we have. So we're very fortunate to have prayer in our life.
What would you think about the practice of people praying the Lord's Prayer at 12 o'clock?
That's a good thing to do, provided everybody knows it these days. There's no guarantee, but it's a very good thing to do. It's a given thing that a lot of people do know, and they can join in. They do that here in the cathedral. At 12 o'clock, they sort of say the Lord's Prayer out loud, and people can stop and join in. Yeah, that's a very good thing. It's a way of focusing. Times of prayer like that are practice times for getting the movement between you and God going.
What do you think about prayer?
I can understand why people do. I have got a lot of friends who are quite religious, and if they want to connect to whoever their God is, then fair enough. Yeah, it's a good thing to do, I suppose.
What do you think about prayer?
I think that it's a great thing. Yep, we have to pray every day if we can, because it's a sign of religion. Yep.
It means developing my spiritual life from the moment when God sacrificed his Son for me until that is revealed fully and the Holy Spirit comes to everyone who wishes it.
Do you pray at any time of your life? Do you pray often?
I did when I was younger, but not so much now.
And when would you think you pray? What would make you pray?
If something happens, and I don't really know when I pray anymore.
And what do you think about the Lord's Prayer? Praying the Lord's Prayer?
That's a good question. It's what I love about the Lord's Prayer is that Christians from all over the world can pray it at one time.
So would you want to come to an event like that and enjoy yourself?
Personally, I'm not the most religious type. I'm half Thai, half Sri Lankan, so I'm Buddhist. So if I go to temples, I can feel they're quite spiritual, but I don't really pray as such. I guess it's just a part of being modern. It's spirituality is kind of lost in the times, I suppose.
We're doing a campaign of praying the Lord's Prayer at 12 o'clock. What do you think about that?
That sounds great. I mean, we already do. in St. Paul's, at 12 o'clock every day, the Lord's Prayer is said.
The 500 Days of Prayer podcast.
So some very interesting responses there to people on the streets here outside St. Paul's, what they think of prayer. Jonathan, tell us your thoughts on what some of the people had to say.
Very interesting views, diverse views, some of them actually from outside of the UK, talking to us about how they feel prayer is important in their lives. And this just points to the fact that we as the church and the Christians in this nation, we need to be praying for our country, praying for people on the streets who are seeking and wanting to find God, and people saying that they just want to get beyond all the robes and the garb of religion, and they want to just see the Jesus that we represent. So that was very good to hear people and to see a realistic view of where people are at in terms of their spirituality and their walk with God.
I was very challenged from some of the people, their kind of lack of understanding of the Christian faith and of the Lord's Prayer, prayer generally. How challenged are you then for what we're seeking to do leading up to Pentecost Sunday to get people to pray for this country?
It's a good challenge because it actually refocuses our vision and our focus. It's not just about prayer, but it's also about getting people drawn into the kingdom and being able to connect with people on the streets to know those who are near and those who are far. It helps refocus our minds on the task at hand. And the task at hand is to get as many people drawn to Jesus and coming into the kingdom.
One of the ways we want to do that virally is through a Twitter campaign that's been launched this Easter weekend. Tell us about that.
And that's very exciting, Peter, because from this weekend down to Pentecost is 50 days. So we're counting down 50 days from now and asking everyone everywhere to tweet their friends, to text them, to Facebook them, to email them the details of the Twitter campaign, which are on our website and which we'll tell you before we end this podcast.
And we'll be talking in a moment a bit more about the exciting plans for this year for Wembley as well. But we're always interested to hear from Christian leaders what prayer means to them. And recently I spoke to the founder of Operation Mobilisation, George Verwer. And George told us his thoughts on the idea of Global Day of Prayer hosting a Leaders' Prayer Summit at Wembley Stadium on the 17th of September 2011.
I think it's important, and I went to one of those big events at Millwall Stadium a few years ago. Even the mayor was there, and I believe these are important events, and nothing is a substitute for our own personal daily prayer life or for prayer meetings in our own churches, but it's not an either-or. We can do both, and we need both, and we need more leaders to get together to pray together. Of course, living in London all these years, anything like this just warms my heart. And I hope that as many leaders as possible will be there. I just feel it's absolutely basic that Christian leaders get together for prayer, for fellowship, and to face the reality of the challenge we're facing in Britain right now, where the danger is we're going to lose a whole generation of young people if we don't move into more intensive spiritual action for God. Prayer is the bottom line.
George Verwer there, a man who is such an inspiration in his prayer life and his pioneering heart for getting the gospel across the world. And something that's global that's happening here is Global Day of Prayer and some very exciting plans later this year.
Yes, so we've received a lot of favor with the Wembley authorities who have said to us, we don't want to just hold a 1,000 leaders event at Wembley. We want to give you the whole stadium, and we'll give it to you at 50% discount. I mean, that is amazing. And they said that if you want, you can have the stadium every day, every year. Sorry, every year, Peter, not every day. and we've actually accepted their offer, and so we're mobilizing the church and saying to the church, we are going to Wembley come Saturday, 17th of September, when hopefully gates will open around 1 or 2. Details will be on the website very soon, where you can register, where you can get your church mobilized and plug that date into your diary. Tell every single one of your friends, 17th of September, Saturday, is a day when churches from across the British Isles are coming together to pray, to worship together, and celebrate together as one.
So just finally, Jonathan, just remind us again of all the things that people can get involved in the coming months.
They can get involved with our countdown to Pentecost, the Twitter campaign. They can mobilize their churches to organize celebrations wherever they are on the 12th of June. On Sunday, Pentecost Sunday. They can pray the Lord's Prayer at 12 o'clock every day and join hundreds of thousands of people across the British Isles to pray. Here at St. Paul's, for example, people are praying every 12 o'clock the Lord's Prayer. So that is happening all over the nation, and we want people to get involved. They can also put the 17th of September into their diaries when the whole of the British Church comes together at Wembley to worship, pray, and celebrate together.
As we said at the beginning of 2011, we really believe this is going to be a pivotal year, but we need everyone to come on board and support all of the different initiatives, different plans we've got throughout this year. To find out more, keep going to g.london.com to get the latest news, and drop us an email, info@g.london.com. God bless you.
The 500 Days of Prayer podcast.